Hey, what's going on? It's your Radio Love Deja Vu. We are here for Black in Business. We're going to be focusing on resilience in collaboration with BLS and, of course, Hot 97 through Black History Month. We are talking about it and focusing on sisters who are making things happen in business. I have some amazing women joining us today on this panel. So let's get started. We have Tren'ness Woods-Black, and she is the granddaughter of Sylvia's from the restaurant. She is a third generation entrepreneur. Sister is hustling and grinding. Hi, Tren'ness. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, beautiful. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We have Tiana Wallace. You might remember she's the daughter of the late, great, notorious B.I.G. Sister Girl is an entrepreneur in her own right, opened up a store, has a business, a storefront, everything. Hi, Tiana. Welcome to the show. And we also have Marilyn Van Alstyne, the CEO of MV and Wifey Wines, joining us today to talk about what she's got on her deck for 2021. Welcome to the show. Hi. So we have a great panel going in for us today. I just want to get a little bit of backstory on each of you briefly, what you do, how you got into your business, and we'll talk about what challenges you've had to overcome to show that strength and resilience, especially in the last year that we've had. So Tren'ness, let's start.
Okay, so as everyone knows and can attest, 2020 came in kicking and screaming. At Sylvia's, especially being a part of a family business, my title is VP of Communications and Strategic Partnerships, but I do everything as it relates to who we talk to, all of our relationships, whether it's public relations, government relations, community relations, all of the above. And this past year, having to do all of that under the umbrella of COVID has been quite the challenge. But I must admit, Harlem has loved on us so strong. And, it's been a pleasure to be of service to the community during this time. So our main goal at Sylvia's is to make sure that marquee stays lit. That's Harlem's Statue of Liberty, as you will. So right now I'm standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, of all the wonderful Black entrepreneurs that have come before me and have dealt with much, much more challenging times and rose to the occasion. So I'm just happy to be here to lend my voice and hopefully some good tips on how we can get through this moment together.
Awesome. All right, we'll get back on that part that you said about being the legacy in the community. Oh, and joining us now, we have PreMadonna. Now, you may have seen her on Love and Hip Hop. She has started her business, had a really interesting front story, but the backstory, honey, the latter is definitely greater. She is making major moves right now. PreMadonna, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Looking fabulous as usual.
Thank you.
All right. So we're just talking about how we got started in the businesses. So let me go ahead and jump back to Marilyn. Talk to us about your business and the impact that you've seen happen and everything that's been happening up until 2020, because we know we got to talk about how that shook up the world.
Yeah, sure. I own a multifaceted agency that helps startups in other brands with marketing, operations, just operationalizing businesses. And I also am one of the owners of Wifey Wines, which we make a sparkling rosé and a sweet cuvée. And we actually launched that retail probably, I want to say, 4 weeks after the pandemic hit.
Oh my God.
So, that was a very interesting challenge, but we made it through. And I'm just happy to be here.
Awesome. All right. So PreMadonna, tell us about your business and how you got started first just with Waist Trainer and then moving on to your seasonings and your products and everything.
Hi, guys. So I started Waist Gain Society being a just having children and just wanting other options out there for curvy girls, and I couldn't find any reshaping gear or garments that I like specifically that fit my shape at the time after giving childbirth. So that's how Waist Gain Society was born, directly after my children. My first son, because I was like, I got to get my waist back snatched. I was always known to keep a nice shape, a nice figure, and that's exactly how it started, guys. So I started Waist Gain Society, founded that 10 years ago, believe it or not. And then I get pregnant again 10 years later, and PreMadonna Cooks is birth, because at this point I'm a mom now, I'm a wife, life has changed. So now I'm cooking, doing a lot of eating, and I want to say a lot of my consumers or my supporters, they were like, you got to do a cookbook. And I'm like, a cookbook? And I'm like, what? And I just took that leap of faith and I jumped out there. And then once I know that cooking has always been a tradition passed down from generation to generation in our families, like my whole entire family can cook from my nieces on out. So I just knew that was the next lane for me. And then birthed pregnant again, and I birthed PreMadonna cookware. So I don't know if it's these kids. I always tell people business is just like having children. So obviously I think I'm living it at this point. But yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk about those recipes in a few minutes. But right now, Tren'ness, speaking of recipes and soul food, how have you been able to take what we had during this whole 2020 pandemic and all the crazy? What have you birthed during this? Because during times of pandemic, survival, necessity, intervention, and invention comes together. Tell us what you invented. I heard cornbread and conversations. Was that something you built during the pandemic?
Cornbread and Conversations is something that I built right after my grandmother passed away in 2012. But what I did birth out of cornbread, out of 2020 and all of this COVID drama, was senior care calls, where I partnered with City Meals on Wheels, where you could adopt a senior and call a senior, because guys, you know how hard it is with trying to learn all of these different platforms and streaming services. Could you imagine being a senior that lives by yourself, that has no idea what technology is about? You know, they're all about their corded phones with the big numbers. So that's something that I birthed out of this moment that was like extremely important to me. So everyone can pick a granny. You can pick a granny and call them, or grandpa, and just check in on them. And another thing that we did as a family is we started a food pantry out of Sylvia's also, that we did in partnership with the National Action Network and Reverend Sharpton. So we did that for a couple of months. And I'm going to tell you guys, that line continued to grow. It literally wrapped around from Malcolm X Boulevard to Fifth Avenue, completely around the block. And it went from seeing people that you can tell they were, kind of down on their luck, to seeing people that actually used to purchase from us. So during this time, we've just amped up our philanthropic side. This is the first year we weren't able to give out a Sylvia and Herbert Woods scholarship since 2001. So that's been rough, but we've just been loving on our community and keeping it rolling.
I think that's the amazing part, that you were able to shift and show that love to the community. I love the adopt the grandparent thing. That's amazing. So you were able to keep your store open and everything. But Tiana, what about you? Because retail is a whole other thing. And I know you had a physical storefront. How did you cope with that during the pandemic at its height?
At first I was good because we just had a curfew in New York. So it was just certain stipulations. I just had sanitizers, certain amount of people in my store. People had to wear gloves to handle the clothes. But then everything completely got shut down and nobody could open any of their businesses. So I was just lucky that I had my online store. So when I did close my brick and mortar location, my online sales went up, like up, completely up, because no one could go outside and go shopping. So they were stuck to their computers. Everything down to Christmas shopping, you had to damn near do it online. So it evened out in a way. And I took the time while my store was closed to remodel it. So I really wanted to get a new, I wanted to get a new look.
Being able to take to the next.
Yeah, so I took that downtime and I was like, let me remodel my store, and then my online, I've just been trying to get way more traffic to it.
That's dope. All right. So wait, Marilyn, you said that you were just launching Wifey Wines at the time of the pandemic, but were you able to lean back on your PR and marketing to help boost the sales during this pandemic?
Well, what we actually did, we were prepared to, having a wine company, you have a whole rollout plan. Once you want to go, you have premise benefit businesses that you want to impact, and off premise and on premise. We lost off premise, on premise completely. So the restaurants and bars and lounges and hotels, everything was shut down. So we just quickly pivoted to a digital business model rather quickly. So in the wine and spirits industry, DTC, which is direct to consumer, was just it was a business model that people were learning about, but weren't necessarily using effectively. We were able to quickly, because I've worked with Puff for so long, and all we do is pivot all the time when stuff happens. We're always ready for the unknown. So when the pandemic hit, we were actually in the process of moving our inventory into the Northeast from Florida, and launching at retail. And we had to quickly go to, okay, we're going to get out. Same thing. She said that we had to get our online store up and running right away, where people could order wine. The wine industry sales surged unbelievably.
I'm sure they did. They were like, go back.
Yeah, so we did pretty good. So our store was ready, and we just focused on that. We just lost the capacity to intro our wine in person to people, like in store sampling. So we had to think of creative ways to still get to our consumer and compete with the bigger boys, like the, Kettle Ones and the Grey Gooses and the Cirocs of the world, because people were going up to windows and ordering. So you already knew what your liquor of choice or wine of choice was. So we had to figure out how to become a household name in a very short period of time, so that people, when they do go to retail, they would, ask for Wifey, or if they came online, they would come buy bottles from us. And our distributors stood by us, and our retailers, the retailers that we were in business with, they stood by us. And, since we started in DC and Maryland, and we're doing really, really well down there. And then we expanded to 12 additional markets, which is unheard of for a new brand, and during a risky time. Like, no one wants to take on a new brand because they can't sell it, because no one knows about it. But people really love the concept, and we have some really strong people behind us, and it's been great. It's been challenging because our wine is imported from Italy, so we were dealing with a lot of customs issues and getting the actual wine over into the US because Italy was completely shut down.
Do you share that story in your marketing or even like online? Because people will eat that up. Like literally, oh my God, this is straight from Italy, girl. I got my thing, Wifey wines. You know what I'm saying?
No, we definitely tell people we're made in Italy. And I try to stress to people, like, this was I had sleepless nights, like trying to figure out where the freight was. And, 30 days at custom, because the borders are, the docks are backed up. Getting all the product from China, from wherever. Once the docks opened up, it was just a line, but we've gotten through that, and it's just a great beginning story to tell for now.
Awesome. I hope you document it, because you can turn that into a whole series. We'll talk about that stuff with the marketing later. PreMadonna. I want to know about the cookware. I am fascinated. I love that you've been able to expand to that, because you don't hear about people doing that. So I was Googling and I saw some stuff. So you have cookware, pressure cookers and all that. And then I saw pallets that you talk to me.
Yeah, we have now we're blessed to say that we actually have at least, I think it's so many products, guys. I think like 13 products. I know we have a 7-in-1 air fryer grill, and I worked on that baby during quarantine, because when the pandemic hit, I know that a lot of people were staying home. My main goal was, first, we've already launched the pressure cookers before the pandemic, and that did amazing. So it kind of messed up the rollout, because Now people are home, but people want to eat healthy. And I'm like, okay, this air fryer craze. I have to get into this air fryer craze. But what can I do? What can we do? Number one, by being a Black owned company, stand out that people will actually want to buy. And I don't want to just put out anything, and I need to do quality. So now that, we have this pandemic, you're not able to fly overseas to these, you're not able to fly to meet with these vendors. And, and I wanted to create cookware, which was, stainless steel. Now, to get correct important stainless steel, it's kind of like Maddie's story. You have to go to Germany for stainless steel. However, the world is shut down. What do? You get a lot of samples. You have to get the stuff flown in. So I went ahead and decided, we came out with the 7-in-1 air fryer grill, because I said, okay, this is what's gonna happen. People can't go outside to grill. They scared of outside establishments. We're gonna keep them in the house. It's virtually smokeless. It's indoor. We got that out the way. Then I came with the air fryer oven. And I mean, it was a surge. We couldn't keep seasonings. Till this day, we can't keep spices on. We can't keep them in our store. And people were really able to not only just appreciate the brand from being known for me, they were able to try my products, tell the world about the products. Like, look, I'm using this air fryer grill, and it's from this Black girl named PreMadonna Cookware, and this thing is bomb. I'm losing weight. I'm eating healthy, because you got a virtual school. I'm a mom. So everything I do with all my businesses, like when it was Waist Gang, I was like, I'm saving the world one waist at a time. And now with PreMadonna Cookware, I'm like, I'm saving the world one plate at a time. Either way, my goal is always to help women, help mothers, help families, because that's what I embody. PreMadonna is a family-owned business, and I am a representation. I'm a wife. I have to cook. I got to work. So what can I do to make the average woman's life simpler, or male, whoever, just makes it simpler? What way to come out with these products? So everything we have, guys, the cooking time is 30 to 40 minutes max, because I'm a great cook like my grandmother, but I'm not standing in that kitchen all day like my grandmother. So, and she'll tell you that. She would say, I don't know how that girl could get her collard greens done in 2 hours, and they tender and they good. Grandma still taking 8 hours. I put in my pressure cooker, Grandma. She's like, I gotta try. So, it's just a blessing for people to, now they have these recipes, because you can't go out to the store. And when you go to the store, you don't want to be all around people. You don't want to sit at restaurants, and you're getting chef quality professional food from this cookbook. And I'm telling you all the seasonings. I'm giving you the products. So it's a one-stop shop. And I guess, yeah.
That is amazing. That is an amazing story right there. I love our resilience, our ability to be able to bounce back and to actually pivot in the midst of the storm. So right now, though, what about community? Because I know you all have touched on it. Have you been able to link to the community in your areas where you are actually based, to be able to expand your products or your businesses? How has community played a role for you as we were leading out of 2020, jumping into 2021?
Absolutely. I would definitely, just to start it really quick and brief, community plays a big role with us, because we're in Miami, Florida. So I'm from Miami, Florida, and I live in Georgia, but I haven't took my business out of Miami, Florida, because I know that there's a lot of young ladies in the community. They ride by this building. They say, that's the girl from Overtown. Overtown is one of the most poverty area in America. You don't make it out of Overtown. We have the famous Lyric Center there. So they get to see that. And I give back to the community. We did, when the pandemic first hit, we gave a lot of single moms free air fryers, free pressure cookers, free deep fryers, free recipe books, free spices. We do a lot within that area of Miami, Florida. And I live in Georgia. I've been here for 8 years, but like I tell my husband, I'm a Miami baby, and I got to take care of my community first.
Listen, I think I'm from Florida too. Duval.
305.
Okay.
So what's the city? You can take the girl out the city, but you can't take the city out the girl. I'm just a Miami girl for life, y'all. I don't know.
And what about you other ladies? How has the community played a role in your success, and how has it strengthened you, lifted you throughout the pandemic leading into the new year?
The community has been everything. And if you come to New York City, you will see the difference between Harlem and Midtown. Midtown is almost like a ghost town, but Harlem is still bustling because we take care of ours. One thing about the the Harlem community and other villages like it is that we're the ones that support each other. The restaurant community in Harlem, we're the ones that get the calls from the Little League and the youth organizations and the churches. We're the ones that normally are of support during this time. So it's been amazing to just see how our regular customers, although they can't sit in their favorite seat at the counter that they've been sitting in for all of these years, they still come and they get their takeout items. Our food products, thank God, our food product company is about 25 years old. And when we started out, we had a hard time getting that little brown face on the shelves.
Why is that? Why was it so challenging at that time?
It was very challenging because we were the first. It was Sylvia's restaurant and Glory. And Sylvia's, it was very important for my Uncle Van, my grandmother's oldest, to make sure that my grandmother's face was literally on the label. And we would go into meetings and with very large companies, and they would say, hey, why don't you guys switch up the branding? You may want to take your mom's face off. And we knew exactly what they were talking about. And we said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That beautiful brown face. I remember one time my uncle said, do you see how beautiful my mom is and that beautiful brown face? And I smile. That is what people are coming to the restaurant for. We are going to take our chances and keep that face, her face, on the label. And I mean, it was a struggle. Product placement in the store. They wanted to put us on the bottom. Then they didn't know quite what to do with us. So, but community is where it comes in. You know, that demand, you know, making sure that you tell your people. And back then, you know, we didn't have social. So you had to literally go out to the Black expos and do the church circuit and just get old school and grassroots with it and tell people like, hey, you know what, this product is made by us, you know, for us, literally. We're the ones that created the hospitality industry. So I have to say kudos to you, PreMadonna, because what you're doing is amazing. And we need to see more of that because the hospitality industry is hurting right now. And it's also an industry that's especially hurting people of color. And we all know that we take the brunt. We take the brunt of it. Yeah. But it's really, really important to understand and retake back our narrative. We created hospitality. We created the culinary industry. Our grandmothers, great-grandmothers, great-grandmothers, we're the ones that was doing the cooking and the seasoning and the plate and the table setting, all that. So, woo, don't get me started on it.
Girl, you speaking my language because it's so important. I tell people just with us being in the same service industry, I'm like, I tell these women all the time, do you know how hard these doors are that I'm kicking down for us? I'm coming through with appliances and cookware. We're in a different league. I'm not coming from China getting you guys China stainless steel. I'm going to Germany, importing Germany stainless steel.
That's when you said that took it to the next level in my mind. I'm like, wait a minute. So I want to know when you guys are doing this and you doing your stuff in Italy and even Sienna, what you're doing with your shirts and your clothing and everything. How are you sourcing the products? Where do you go? So if I'm a business person and I want to know, I want to get some Deja Vu stuff. How do I do that? Because that's mind blowing to us.
Don't let me discredit China. Let's be clear.
No, I get that from China.
But what I'm saying is for certain products, I just say specifically, you see how Maddie is going to Italy because they are known for wine. When it comes to stainless, I didn't want to just create a pot and stick my name and stick my label. My pot is, if you have the PreMadonna pressure cooker, it's one that I'm not the pressure cooker, I'm sorry, the stainless steel set. You're not going to find that on the market. It has temperature control. It's custom for women. It's custom for people who can't cook. So to source that, you have to use your brain and you have to elevate and you have to get these resources and hope that because it's a pandemic, you can't meet them. You just hope that, you got to pray for the best at this point. But previously, when I was able to do the work, we actually flew in on my anniversary. We were supposed to be there on the love trip, but I had to make a little work happen. And I've already met with the vendor. And I remember telling myself, and this is a true story, a couple of years ago, wow, I want it bad, but this will never be me. That's a lot of money. That's all I told myself. But I stayed down and I worked hard. And then like it goes back to the community, the support is the demand. All of my consumers, they supported me and they wanted us to win. And they're like, wait, this is what you're doing? So, I mean, when you do something that you love, the success and the vendors and sourcing, it makes its way to you. You don't find yourself. I tell people all the time, a lot of my success is just by faith. I really don't. It's just God. Like, I just have favor on my life, and I can't explain that sometimes.
Come on.
And I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of things literally
It don't
fall
sound
into my
crazy.
lap. And it's like, God, like, I know you've been working. I know you were knocking on this door. Here it is. It's open. I mean, the door just literally opened. I walk through and I'm like, oh, we're here now. Okay. So I know, and just to speak on Maddie, like, I tried your new wine. I had a meeting a while ago, right before I got pregnant, and I was like, oh, it's so good. The black bottle. And here I am pregnant. So I'll enjoy it soon though, because I have my bottle, girl.
And wait a minute. So you all were saying also, I want to get the chime in on the connection, because we cannot go out as frequently as we once were. We will open up eventually, but promotion and marketing of your products in the midst of the pandemic, and now how you're looking forward to it, because digital has played a major aspect, a major role. I know, Tiana, you said your stuff just went up overnight. How has the digital marketing been, and what kind of tools are you using?
I'm using a lot of social media. Surprisingly, Harlem, I don't know if it's like that, but in Brooklyn, people like to be outside. They want to be at events. They want to be in the clubs. They want to be, it doesn't matter that I do clothes. The Brooklyn people want to be outside. So I actually was doing a lot of events, little just events to promote. I was doing like sipping paints and just to promote my store, just different things, different little events. And once that had to stop, I was just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Everyone's hitting me up. When are you doing your events? When are you doing this? Me and my mom do a youth basketball tournament every summer for the kids in the community. We couldn't do that this year. So everyone's like, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? And I felt I was just lost. I was like, I don't know what to do. Everything we do is outside. We do something in the park. We do something on my dad just got a street named after him. We do something on that street. So once we couldn't do anything outside, I really felt lost for a second. So I completely went back to my college days. I'd use my college brain and completely go back to marketing. All these different sales, and everybody love a sale. I will let y'all know that. Everybody love a sale. So I'm like, I gotta do these sales. I have to post 10 times a day. The brain forgets things quickly now. You know, with the social media, every year that the year gets more and more, the brain forgets. Like, you have to be consistent. You cannot stop letting people know what's going on with you, what's going on with your product, new products, new everything. They just want, oh, it's new, I want it. Oh, this is new. Like, you know how people are. That brain keep going. So I'm like, let me keep going with them. That was my strategy. I want to keep up.
Yeah, so when we quickly seen that the world was closing, we had to quickly just get on social everywhere. Because we knew that all eyes would be on social because no one could go outside really. So we ramped up our ads. We just ramped up what our content looks like. You know, I think the average attention span now is like 9 seconds or something like that.
Exactly.
You just have that attention span for 9 seconds. So we knew that we were ahead of other brands. The bigger brands, they take their bigger ships, so they take a little longer to turn around. So we knew that we were ahead. So we had a head start, but we had to ensure that our content was captivating. So, you know, we did all kind of stuff. We connected with influencers that liked wine, brides, because we market heavily in the bridal community. And just
common sense. Hello, duh. I need to put it. Okay, pray for me. Okay.
To show people, you know, how to consume the product. You know, when to. You know, it's not much to celebrate now because we're in the midst of a pandemic. But there are other smaller things that you can celebrate. You know, you're at home with family. You know, you don't have to get up and chunk to work in the morning or commute or whatever. But there's other moments where you can just enjoy wifey at home. And you know, another thing is Black women especially are wildly innovative. When you put a brick wall in front of us and tell us, get out, find your way out, we gonna find our way out.
And be cute with it too.
Right?
I remember one time, I don't know what me and Puff were talking about. He was like, you scared? I was like, scared? I was like, no. I was like, you could drop me anywhere in this world. I'm going to find my way back home. Or whatever. That's just women. Right. Like, Black women are just unicorns. We're just amazing. And we're like innate analysts. So we can look like PreMadonna. We look at the industry. We can look at our business industry and say, this is working and this does not work. And then apply that to our content and our marketing programs and promotion initiatives grab it quickly, because we are the IT person, we are the creative director, we also are the graphic designer. We're doing it all, so we can quickly get everything out. We don't have to get 32 sign-offs from corporate. We don't have all those layers.
You better speak on it, Maddie.
We get things quick, and we can just move ahead. And so that, I think, being that innovative and being able to see what's needed, PreMadonna could say, okay, people are going to be sitting at home. They can't go out to eat, so they're going to probably be learning how to cook. That's the best thing, because I've been on I bought her recipes, I bought her seasoning. I'm like, wait, I got to learn how to cook this, and I know how to do this. I'm a big West Indian cooker, so some American dishes I don't know how to cook. So I've gone to her page and been like, okay, how do I cook this? What do I do with this? So, but her having the foresight to even see that's just how amazing Black women are. We're always analyzing, we're always looking at stuff and looking at our environment and trying to figure out where is that profit margin, where can we build a new business at, what problem can we solve.
Come on. Exactly. I was just telling my husband that same thing. I'm like, listen, I got to come up with some more money. We got to strategize, right? For real.
Multiple streams of income, multiple streams,
all the time. People, but it's not even a luxury now. It's a necessity. Because everything that happened, if we didn't have the other multiple streams already lined up, baby, I would be like,
if we did not own all of our real estate,
right,
we would be, and I would be in tears. Our family's business, our business portfolio is a mixture. We have the restaurant, we have the food products, and we have a real estate company. And each one of them take the lead. So the restaurant has always taken a lead. So this time our food product company took the lead because everyone is cooking. Right. So everyone was, our chicken fry pouches flying off the shelves because everyone wants to be like little Sylvia in the kitchen or little PreMadonna. Yeah. So it's crazy. And if we didn't own our real estate, there's no way that we would be making it right now. The majority now in New York City, we're Black people. We make up 22% of the population. Before COVID, we only owned 2% of businesses. And I'm here to tell you that number is going to shrink. To probably
2%. I didn't even know that stat.
41% of Black businesses are gone already.
Yeah. How many?
41%.
41%. Wow. 41%. Wow. And that's why this COVID to me is another form of gentrification. And we have to unite. That's the only way that we are going to make it. We have to unite as a people, because trust, I'm going to be calling PreMadonna. I'm going to be calling Tiana. Maddie, you already know. And we have to work together. We've been kind of bamboozled, and I hate to go off the topic, but we've been bamboozled into thinking that, it's all about being a solopreneur.
No.
There's a thing called the old boys club. We know
that means when I win, you win. We win
exactly.
Together. You hear these stories, and people used to always say, and I know it's so cliche about two people can't walk through the door at the same time. I said, why not? Because when you was a little girl and you're a little Black girl with a shape, my mama used to squeeze me through that door with her. It wasn't no walking behind or front.
Exactly. But you know what? It's the same thing. It goes back to the marketing, because you'll see a McDonald's over here, then a Burger King and a Wendy's. They all make money when they're all together working.
Absolutely. You're going to see PreMadonna seasoning right there by Sylvia's fish fry. Exactly. You may see some PreMadonna fish fry. It doesn't matter. We have to unite, because it's time, because we go into these grocery stores, we go into these businesses, and we look for products that are for us, because we know exactly what taste buds we have already been seasoned with from childlike. So if you see my mom or PreMadonna on a picture, or Miss Sylvia, you're gonna say, yeah, they look like one of your aunties, one of your grandmas. You're gonna buy it and purchase it if you're looking for that flavor and that hometown thing. I tell people all the time that you can it's no such thing as a me EO. If you want to be a me EO, then you do it on your own. But I am a we EO. We're going to get where we got to go, whether you want to understand that, whether you want to receive that. Right. But at the end of the day, I'm here for each other. You have to pull each other up for us to get where we're trying to be in life, or we won't go far. And I do believe that COVID is a form of gentrification. I said that, but what could we do? The only thing
But
we
on the
can do
flip
is
side
continue
of
to
that,
educate
I
each other.
think
Yeah.
COVID has made us pause and reflect and then begin to pivot and shift our ways of thinking and even give us ideas because we were paused for a second. You know, we've been like this, right?
Yeah.
But it gave us a moment to sit back and reflect and be like, yo, I got this. And I think it's shown in different ways. Even you all just saying right now, the different ideas that you've come up with and have been able to pivot, which brings me to what we're doing now for 2021. So now, since we've seen this and we've seen the disparities in our country within the entrepreneurial world and just in plain healthcare world, what do we do coming forward as entrepreneurs? What are you looking to build as your business, and what do you plan on doing, and how has this impacted you moving forward as we get through 2021 with the brand new administration?
Let's talk about it. We got a black VP. Let's talk about it. Let's
Come on now.
We can speak
Say
on. Let's
that.
call it out. That wears Chucks, baby. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
That's something to be proud about. I just see the future for I don't even see it for myself. I see so many doors and lanes open for Black women because cooking is our niche. I would be so selfish to sit here and say, oh, you know, like I tell people, I'm doing all the hard work. Somebody got to do it. When you come in the game, the lane's going to be so easy and wide open. Target, Walmart, they're going to know about you because they've seen PreMadonna flying through here with air fryers, deep fryers. They're going to say, okay, this is not so uncommon anymore. They're going to take you serious and they're going to sit down and because, you know, the same people who are back knocking at my door. I went to these places 2 years ago and I had to make myself known. Now they're begging me to get on the shelf. So it's a different day. So I see the future. I see me opening lanes for women. I'm amazed. I just see a lot of Black owned products, not overpriced. You know, I came out with a $19.99 stainless steel pot set during a pandemic. I came out with a $19.99 pot set during a pandemic. That lets you know I'm a businesswoman, but at the end of the day, I support my people. I support my community because there were so many people DMing me. A lot of people can't afford the stainless steel set that we have. So I said, I got to get y'all some stainless. I got to do what I got to do. And if that means biting the bullet to supply and make sure every home deserves to have some PreMadonna cookware, then that's what I'm going to do. Everybody was like, are you crazy? You could easily sell this for 59 cents. It's not about a profit. I want them to know when we come in business, we here to take care of our own. There's no more overpricing or overcharging. You get what you worth. The quality is worth it. Everything is going to be up to parts and standard. So if I have to give you a 5-piece set for $20 or 10-piece, including the lids, that's what I'll do. I'll bite that bullet for you. So when you start your business, sister girl, they'll respect you. And all I need you to do is respect my people and don't try to overcharge, because so long we've been taught quality and brand. So since you want to call me a luxury brand, let me show you luxury brands can be affordable as well. I'm going to do that. And I was happy that people could respect that and receive that because it came from a Black woman who they knew embodies classiness and luxury. So you can get this product and you don't have to feel bad. And everybody got it. So I see the future of us growing, Miss Sylvia, Maddie. I just see us just. It's a new day, guys.
I love
Listen, the sky is the limit. You know, we are like a quilt. That's how I see our community. And the vortex for Black women is open, unlike it's never been open before. Trust and believe, but we also have to make sure that we are moving strategically and we're moving swiftly, because America has a very short memory.
Come on.
You know, everybody is knocking down our doors because everyone is trying to find their Black woman right now. So with that being said, we have to make sure that we unify and that we're on the same page, so that you're not going to, you know what, I'm not going to do what you asked me to do for this price. So you're going to go over to the next Black person and they're going to undercut. No,
there you go.
On the same page. We have to work together like those beautiful quilts that our great grandmothers made. I got goosebumps, y'all. That's how we have to piece it all together. Because my grandmother would always say that every frog must praise her pond, and a closed hand don't work for her. See that? Those hands is open because you got to give. And when you just think that you have no more to give, trust me, reach back, grab the next person so that y'all can give together.
Right. And don't be
I love that.
intimidated by that other person either. We can share the wealth. It's
Exactly.
enough for all of us to get along and get growing and still be bosses.
That's been the
Yes.
message. I swear I've been preaching that the whole 2021. I tried to
Yes.
tell people, listen, there is no demon in hell or earth that can stop the will that God has for your life. You gotta
Amen.
trust me. You got to believe me. You can't focus on nobody, guys. So yeah.
No weapons formed against us shall prosper. Y'all got me
Come on, she
hyped.
about to take us to church. Y'all about to do I need to do a shout?
You can listen. You can't
Come
spell
on.
PreMadonna without spelling pre.
Y'all are a mess. I cannot. All right, so Tiana, what are you planning on doing as we move forward through 2021? Give us some of your visions, your ideas, your goals of what you're planning on doing with the biz.
Well, like I said to y'all, I'm trying to stay consistent. You guys pointed out a great thing, like with the overseas thing. It's the same thing with me and my clothes. It's a little bit slow. I've been trying to get my stuff to come in. It's a little bit slower. So I'm like, okay, gotta sell what I got. Gotta hit up my American distributors now, which I like my overseas distributors better. But that's the best thing. You gotta have options. Always have like 5 in America, 5 overseas. And when stuff like this happens, I have my other options. So now I have to deal with all my stuff in America, and I just want to keep my face out there and my clothes out there. Because like she said, the attention span is slow, and they're going to forget about us.
Absolutely, but we got to stay in their faces.
Yes.
And Marilyn, what about you? What's on deck for you for 2021? Where are you moving the business? What do you see happening coming up for you and the wifey industry and anything else?
Well, I study a lot of history because I do believe that history repeats itself. So history is my biggest teacher on what's to come. And everything is pointing to, after the pandemic way back, there was the roaring 20s. So I do feel like there is going to be an influx of consumer purchases over the next couple of months. Once the pandemic lightens a little bit, people are going to be spending a lot of money. So we're gearing up.
Spending it now.
We're gearing up to be everywhere, and we're expanding into different markets. We're hoping to get into the California market. Is the biggest market for wine and spirits, and it's also the most difficult market to get in.
I'm sure everybody knows about Napa and everything that goes on over there.
So we're hoping to gain a distributor in California and move into that market, and probably expand into about 6 to 10 more markets throughout the U.S. But we're gearing up for this increase in spending because people are looking for Black-owned businesses. So our time is definitely now, and I plan to utilize that as much as possible. But at the end of the day, we make a great product. We stand by it. I haven't met a person yet that has tried Wifey that did not like the product. Like, everyone loves it. They love the dry rosé. They love the sweet rosé. So I'm really looking forward to 2021.
Awesome. And finally, lastly, for that woman or brother who's watching right about now, they want to launch a business. I just need a one little snippet of advice. What do you tell them? They're seeing this, they're amped up and they're ready.
My biggest tip for entrepreneurs is to stay true to yourself, stay true to what your brand is. If God placed it on your heart, it can be actualized as long as you stay focused on it. Do the research, do your homework, be about your business. And as my grandmother Sylvia would say, rock your baby. That means be on whatever your business is 24/7. Don't worry about your haters. They'll take care of themselves, but just stay true to your product, work on it, and make sure that you have room for whatever you're working on for someone else to benefit from it, because we're all in this together.
Love it. Tiana, what's your hustlers tip? Tiana, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I can.
So what's your hustlers tip for the aspiring entrepreneur?
My tip is to never give up. I've come into so many obstacles where I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore, but I love what I do. I love my business. And you have to make sure that's another thing. Love your business. Love what you do, because that's when you're never going to want to stop. Because like she said, that's your baby and you love your baby, right? And so like, you have to love what you do. You have to have passion about it and never give up and just keep going. And I know anyone that follows that is going to be successful. It's impossible not to be.
Awesome. And Marilyn?
Yeah, I believe, well, whatever product or service you're looking in to start in, that's your what. Then you need to figure out, who are you marketing that product or service to? Where are you marketing that product and service? And why you're marketing it? What's your story? What's your narrative? And then how you're going to do it? What's the plan? That's my tip.
Love it. Love it. And PreMadonna, can you hear us?
Yes, girl, I'm back. You got so good. I'm sorry, guys.
All right. Give us your hustler tip as we wrap up today.
Okay, so my hustler tips, guys, is I tell people all the time, money is the motive, but not the motivation. You have to find out what is your motivation. Every day when I hustle, when I grind, when I work, when I take these chances and sacrifices and miss whatever it is I'm missing in life to just provide quality product and services, I know what motivates me. I know that I want to live a certain lifestyle. I know that my children, the needs I want for them, whatever it is that motivates you, you have to know that. So money is the motive. Yes, your intent is to get paid because we're humans and we have bills and everything to pay. But don't let that be your motivation. And whatever you think is right. I was always told that anything someone told me was always the opposite happening. So I will always tell you to go with your gut feeling. I think that little voice is your angel, guys. I really do. So just kind of listen to it, and whatever you think is right. I mean, you can listen to people all day long. I mean, but whatever you think is right. So to never give up, grind, and remember, keep the motivation. Why you doing it? And that should keep you afloat.
Perfect. This was an awesome panel. I thank you, ladies, for participating today. Y'all gave us some real inspiration, information. I'm ready to get my hustle on more right now. For real.
And we got you
joining us. All right. This is how we wrap it up for Black in Business with WBLS and Hot 97.